Good morning, class. Today we're going to learn about the Dinosaur Dynasty. Settle down, settle down. Alright, class. So the Dinosaur Dynasty was the latest era in the history of Earth dominated by the most famous animals that ever roamed our planet, the dinosaurs. This dynasty had its beginning in the Triassic period and lasted all the way through the Jurassic and Cretaceous periods before ending with their extinction at the end of the Cretaceous. Dinosaurs were not the first great group of reptiles to dominate the Earth. That title belongs to the Archosaurs, which are an older group that includes crocodiles, birds, and dinosaurs. And dinosaurs themselves did not appear until the Middle Triassic, which was a time when other reptiles like Dinosaurs were the apex predators. But they would soon become one of the most diverse and dominant groups of animals that ever existed. Dinosaurs were divided into two main categories: the Saurischia or lizard-hipped dinosaurs and the Ornithischia or bird-hipped dinosaurs. The name dinosaur means terrible lizard in Greek, but it's actually kind of ironic since it was the Ornithischians, not the Saurischians, who gave rise to birds after the mass extinction that marked the end of the dinosaurs. The Saurischia contained many well-known genera such as Allosaurus, Diplodocus, Ankylosaurus, and Tyrannosaurus rex. They were mostly herbivorous, although some were carnivorous. The biggest of these carnivores was the megalodon, which was around 13 meters long and weighed over 700 kilograms. In comparison, the biggest sauropod, Argentinosaurus, was around 20 meters long and weighed almost 70 tons. So as you can see, size-wise, there was no comparison between the biggest and the little ones. The sauropods were the most famous and iconic dinosaurs. These included the Brachiosaurus, Apatosaurus, Diplodocus, and many more. Sauropods were easily recognizable by their extremely long necks and tails and for thick, short legs that supported their huge bulk. Even though they were huge, sauropods were very fast animals and could run at speeds of up to 40 kilometers per hour. The Ornithischians were mainly herbivores, and the majority of them had a unique bone structure in their hips that differentiated them from the Saurischians. They also developed beaks, which may have been used for display or for defense. One of the most famous Ornithischians was the Ankylosaurus, also known as the dinosaur, which was covered in hard armor made of bony plates and spikes. Other Ornithischians like the Stegosaurus had bony plates along their backs, and some others like the Triceratops developed large, sharp horns for defense. Some of the Ornithischians like the Velociraptor were small, agile hunters with large, sharp teeth and deadly claws. They were among the most fierce and intelligent predators and lived in herds like wolves do today. But wait a second, how did these gigantic creatures evolve? It is theorized that the ancestors of the dinosaurs were small, bipedal, feathered reptiles that resembled modern-day ostriches. As they migrated to new habitats, they quickly diversified and adapted to different ecological niches. This resulted in the emergence of several iconic species that were perfectly suited for their environments. For example, Ankylosaurus developed its armor as a defense mechanism against predators, while the Brachiosaurus evolved its long neck to reach high plants that other animals couldn't access. Some Ornithischians developed the ability to jump and became the first dinosaurs to do so. One genus, named Boreopelta markmicheli, was discovered in 2020 and lived around 150 million years ago. This dinosaur could jump around 3 meters into the air and 6 meters in distance, which was incredible for an animal that weighed 1,500 kilograms. Another interesting thing about the dinosaurs was their size. Over the course of their reign, they grew larger and larger till they reached their maximum potential at the end of the Cretaceous period. It is believed that this was due to the increase in oxygen levels in the atmosphere, which allowed for the evolution of gigantism. However, at the end of the Cretaceous, oxygen levels dropped and the dinosaurs went extinct. And now we come to perhaps the most important fact about the dinosaurs: their reign. The Mesozoic era is often referred to as the age of reptiles, but in reality, it was the age of dinosaurs. Their reign began during the Triassic period, which started around 250 million years ago and ended around 201 million years ago. However, the first dinosaurs appeared around 230 million years ago, so they were present for most of the Triassic. The Triassic saw the emergence of the first dinosaurs, but it was also a time of great instability. There were major volcanic eruptions in what is now the western United States, and this caused global warming, which led to a mass extinction event. This event killed off about 75% of all species, including many of the early dinosaurs. But it also created opportunities for other dinosaurs to thrive. This marked the beginning of the rise of the dinosaurs. During the Jurassic period, which lasted from around 201 to 145 million years ago, the dinosaurs flourished. This period is often referred to as the Golden Age of dinosaurs because it was during this time that the largest and most famous dinosaurs lived, such as the Brachiosaurus and Stegosaurus. The Jurassic was also a time of great exploration. The dinosaurs spread to all parts of the world and many new species evolved. However, towards the end of the Jurassic, another mass extinction occurred. This event killed off about 80% of all species, including many dinosaurs. However, some dinosaurs managed to survive and continue their reign during the Cretaceous period, which lasted from around 145 to 66 million years ago. During this time, the dinosaurs continued to thrive and new species evolved. The climate was warm and humid, and the lush vegetation provided plenty of food for the dinosaurs. The Cretaceous was also a time of great diversity and saw the emergence of some of the most iconic dinosaurs, such as the Tyrannosaurus rex and Triceratops. However, at the end of the Cretaceous, another mass extinction occurred. This event, which you probably already know, marked the end of the dinosaurs' reign and the beginning of the Cenozoic era. This event was caused by an asteroid impact, and it is believed that it killed off about 75% of all species, including all non-avian dinosaurs. So you may be asking yourself, why did the dinosaurs go extinct? Well, it is believed that the asteroid impact caused major disruptions to the global climate, leading to a rapid cooling of the planet. This sudden change in temperature caused the extinction of many plant and animal species, including the dinosaurs. Another theory is that the dust and debris kicked up by the asteroid blocked out the sun, leading to a long period of darkness and global cooling. This lack of sunlight caused the collapse of the food chain, as plants could not photosynthesize and produce food. Therefore, the animals that ate the plants died, as well as the animals that ate the animals that ate the plants, and so on. Additionally, the impact may have caused massive earthquakes and tsunamis that destroyed habitats and wiped out populations of dinosaurs. Furthermore, the impact would have released large amounts of sulfur-rich rocks into the atmosphere, leading to the formation of sulfuric acid rain. This acid rain would have devastated both terrestrial and marine ecosystems, causing widespread destruction and extinction. Finally, the impact would have triggered a chain reaction of ecological changes. The loss of key species, including the dinosaurs, would have caused imbalances in the food chain and disrupted the delicate balance of the ecosystem. This, in turn, would have led to the extinction of many other species and caused significant changes in the composition of the biosphere. So to sum it all up, the asteroids were just the final blow. The dinosaurs were already under pressure from other factors such as volcanic activity, climate change, and competition for resources. Their reign lasted over 165 million years, which was longer than the previous dynasties combined. And it seems like they will live on forever in our collective memory. Thank you for listening, class. Goodbye.